Hello friends, welcome back to Power Queries series. In the previous video you have seen how to extract the data from Excel tables. In this video I'm going to explain how to extract data from CSV documents. Also a few table functions. Let me summarize what I'm going to cover in this video. After extracting the data from CSV files to Power Query Editor, I'll show you how to clean the column headers so that they are readable. For this example, I'm going to show you how to replace the space in each column header with an underscore using transform column names function. After that, I'm going to show you how to change the case of column name using upper, lower and proper functions. Also showing you how to duplicate columns and delete columns, split columns, etc. Apart from that, other syntax elements or functions like each, splitter and replaces will be made understood to you. Keep watching. Now let me jump into Power Query Editor and I need to insert a new query. This query will be a blank query. I'm not going to select a new source and then select CSV. This is not the process I'm following. I'm going to type a code to bring the data inside Power Query Editor. For that, I'm selecting a blank query. So new source and then blank query. Let me select the blank query and then name this query as revenue because this is going to be revenue data. And in the formula bar, I need to start the code, typing the code. Equal, I need to extract the file from CSV document. So CSV document, and then the file contents will be in the folder that is C drive, users and username and relevant desktop. Under that, the file name is 1.5 million sales records. That is a file name. I mean, literally this file has got those many rows. And then this is the code I'm going to type, and if I press, I think this is coming unnecessarily. I need to remove this, and it has to be the code like this: csv.document file contents, and this is the location. If I press enter, the data will be flowing inside, but in the applied steps you'll see there are 3 different steps created. The first step was actually created by me by typing the code CSV document, but the moment the data taken inside the Power BI or Power Query Editor, the data was not coming as required. The column header was part of the data. So I need to promote the headers. So Power Query Editor is taking care of that. You can see it is promoting the column header by table.promote headers. That is a function it is using, and it is actually putting all the single values on the top. So region, country, etc. But this promoting of headers is not taking care of the data type, because data type currently it is a text, so it's okay. But if it is a number, the number may not be properly being taken care of. That is the reason another step was created where each step, each column header was changed to relevant data type. So that is what Power BI, Power Query Editor is able to understand. Now let me explain how it is understanding. If I go to the file and if I go to the options and settings and then options, in the options dialog, you will see one option, data load. There it is very clearly mentioned that always detect column types and headers from for unstructured sources. Second one is selected actually, detect column types and headers for unstructured sources according to the each file setting. So Power Query Editor is able to understand what that data is, and accordingly it has to be taken. So that is the reason this step is automatically being done. So while extracting the CSV data, just type the code the way which I have written the code, and then rest of the thing will be taken care. If you look at the column headers, few column headers contain a space. Region, country are single values, but item type, sales channel, there is one space. I would like to replace these spaces with underscore. So we need to type the syntax and the code. For that we need to understand how to type it. What is the method? I mean how to start with. For that let me jump into the advanced editor. And if I look at the advanced editor, the first step that is named by Power Query Editor as a source, you can name it as anything. We have seen the earlier examples, and I have typed this code. After that, Power Query Editor has taken care of the second and third steps. But when I look at the second step, promoted headers, there it is starting with table promote headers, but it is referring the previous step. Same way in the second step, change type, it is actually referencing the previous step, that is promoted headers. So that is what we also need to follow. However, Power Query Editor will help us to do that. So I need to start creating new step. What is the step I need to create with? I need to replace space with underscore on each column header. If it is there, then only it has to do. Otherwise, it should not do. I mean, wherever there is a space, there only the underscore should be replaced with. Now I need to create the next step. For that, I need to go to the formula bar and select the FX icon, and there I have to type the code. Before that, you can see there is one text arrived. This text is nothing but the previous step's name. If you look at the applied steps, current step is now custom 1 and previous step name is change type. That is what is come. So it is actually helping you to type the code. So I need to use this step, but before that I need to use the function transform column names. So table dot transform column names, because I am now dealing with column names, open bracket and then change type, comma. If you look at the IntelliSense, the arguments, it is telling table dot transform columns and then table as table. Instead of the table we have given the previous step. Name generator as function. So we need to use a function. For that we need to select each. This is the name generator, and then you need to write the proper function, that is replacer. We are typing a function called replacer, and replacer has got two options. One is replace text and replace value. We wanted to replace the text, so I'm selecting replace text, open bracket. So this syntax is very important, whatever now I'm typing. Underscore, this is the meaning of all, any. That means wherever you find that particular item that is under, I mean, whatever I'm talking about, like space or alphabet or something else, please replace that with the second one. So comma, now I need to replace a space with one underscore. So this is going to replace the spaces with underscore wherever you find. So this underscore is actually the meaning of wherever you find this space, please replace with this, and then close bracket, press enter. Now you can see each name, wherever the space is there, that space is now replaced with. For example, to make you understand about this underscore, let me change this space with A. Let me type maybe alphabet, big alphabet, when capital A, and just say okay. You can see wherever there is a space, A added. That means anywhere, anything, if you want to deal with, this underscore makes a lot of sense. So anyway, I'm just coming back to the underscore and press enter. So that way my column headers now are properly being named. So this step name is custom 1. So I'm going to create next step to make all the column headers case, uppercase, lowercase. Let us try all of them. So again, I need to go to the formula bar, click on the FX button. Now custom 1 is my previous column, that is why the same name has come. So I need to type the code table dot transform column names again, because I'm now still dealing with column names only. Previous step is custom, and then I need to type text dot upper to get uppercase. Press enter. I think I've typed twice, I need to remove it, and press enter. You can see now all the column headers are now with uppercase. If I want lower, I can type lower. Now you can see all the columns, the headers have now become lower. There is a proper also. So proper. So the IntelliSense will help you to get that proper syntax that way. But I want only the lowercase now, because while typing the while creating other steps, lowercase will be easier for me. So I'm just typing it as lower, and that is fine with me. So that way I have created custom 2 also now. I need to duplicate a column. That column is order date, and I need to create a new step. For that, let me jump into formula bar, new function, and now the previous step is custom 2. So table dot duplicate column, and then I need to follow the IntelliSense, whatever options it is giving. So give the current column name as text. So whenever it says as text, you need to type within double quotes. So double quotes, order date, and then you need to give the new column name as well, because we are actually duplicating it. So the new column name is month name, because that column will be now converted as a month name. I mean, the date transformation will be done, and the date will be transformed into a month name. So that is what I'm using, month name as a column header. Enter. Now if I go to the extreme right and see, there is a column created, month name, with the same data. To transform a date column into a month name, I need to create another step. For that, again, formula bar, fx. This time the function is table dot transform columns, and then the previous step is custom 3. And let me see the IntelliSense. So transform operations as list. So whenever it says list, I need to open a curly bracket, and then you need to give the remaining thing, that is month name, that is a column name, comma, and then I need to write the function that is for each cell in the column. That is, month name has got many rows and many dates. So each cell has to be repeatedly changed as a month name. For that, I use a function date month name, open bracket, underscore. You can remember in the previous step only we have just seen this. We have actually used underscore to use for all. That is for the column headers, but this is for the row values in that particular column. So for each row, it has to go there and it has to change that as name, comma, and then it has to be a text. If you don't type it, it will automatically create another step. So to avoid that, I've just created it and just close bracket, enter. Now you can see the month name is now with only the text. And now we need to split this into only 3 characters column and remaining column with other characters. To split the column, I need to use split column function. So I need to type the function table dot split column. Previous step is custom 4, comma. I need to give the source column, that is month name, comma. I need to use splitter function. Earlier we have used replacer function. Now we are using splitter function. So splitter has got many options, like split by nothing, split by any delimiter, and so many. But we are using by positions. Why I'm selecting by positions? Because in the name, month name, I want only 3 characters in the first column. Remaining characters should be in the other column. So I need to use the numbers and by position. So 0 to 3 position should be kept in this place. So positions as list. So I need to use a curly bracket 0, 3. So 0 to 3 characters should be in this column, comma. Now column names are number. So I need to give the column names, because month name now will be split into 2 columns. One is only 3 characters. Next is with residual characters. So the first column name will be month name as it is. I don't want to change it. Then next column will be any name, another, and then type text, because I need to make sure that these columns are text columns. But this syntax is not complete, because Power Query is actually not giving you a clear understanding whether to type these names in a curly bracket or just like that. Let me try and see what happens. Since this is not a proper code, it will throw an error. And if you look at the error, therefrom you can understand the argument column names or number should be ls star in non-negative number. So I need to open a curly bracket, and I open and close another curly bracket here and press OK. You can see the names now. Let me go to the right. The names are 3 characters in the month name, remaining characters in the another column. So that way we have achieved how to split the column. Now I need to remove the another column. I need to remove the column which is having the title another. To remove the column, I need to use the function remove column. So another function, table dot remove columns, and then I need to give the column name, that is another, close bracket, enter. Now you can see that other column, that another column is removed. Here I would like to mention one important note, that whatever steps we have created here are applicable for Power Query in Excel as well as Power Query in Power BI. So if you are an Excel user, instead of cleaning the data within Excel, bring it to Power Query Editor and clean it the way you want, and then use this as a connection and start creating reports in a much better way. Whatever steps created here using mQuery can also be achieved by using graphical user interface, that is nothing but the commands available on the command ribbon. But this is the best way to understand the syntax and the table functions and other functions, also looking at the IntelliSense, because having knowledge of mQuery is an added value when you are getting into advanced transformation of your data. From the next video onwards, I am going to talk about the real-time problems faced by data users and complex data transformation techniques in a simple way. To get notified, please subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. If you have already subscribed, please share with many so that this video can reach many people. Thank you very much.